What's going on, good people? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the upcoming NFL draft. And we all know this draft, for whatever reason, is quarterback heavy at the top. So let's talk about those quarterbacks, where they're ranked, and where I think they should be ranked. Alright, so there's 5 prominent quarterbacks in this draft class. Top of the list, Trevor Lawrence, the golden boy. Then we had Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, and Zach Wilson. Now, coming into this draft, Trevor Lawrence was considered the number 1 prospect by most, if not all, the scouts and, GMs and all that. So he was the golden boy, the hand-picked, chosen one, considered by most as being the top-rated quarterback coming out of a draft since Andrew Luck. So he's supposed to be, the number 1 guy here. That I think has been clear all throughout. So it's safe to say that he's going to go number 1 overall. But at the beginning, Justin Fields was considered the second quarterback to come off the board. But in recent times, there's been some names creeping up, and for whatever reason, his name has been dropping off. So out of nowhere, Zach Wilson comes into the fray of things, and it seems like he's going to be the number 2 quarterback taken. But I don't know where he came from, but that seems to be the case now that he's considered to be the number 2 quarterback. And then we have Mac Jones. All right, so Mac Jones, most people think probably will be the 3rd quarterback. Some people think he might be the 2nd to come off the board. We'll see where he ends up coming up, and I'll give you my feedback on what I think of him after. I'll give my feedback on all of these people. So after Mac Jones, it seems like Trey Lance has been sliding up here. And from whatever I'm seeing now, it looks like Trey Lance could be the 3rd or 4th person to come off the board. And now Justin Fields, who once upon a time was considered to be the number 2 pick, and some people actually early on thought that he could potentially go number 1. All of a sudden now he looks like he might be 4, maybe 5 to come off the board. So he might slide down a lot further than what was initially projected. So now, for whatever reason, it seems now the top 3 quarterbacks in most people's mock drafts and analysis seems to be Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and Mac Jones to be the top 3. And for whatever reason, Justin Fields and Trey Lance are the second tier behind those 3 guys. So let's see, here's my feedback on all of this. So let's start first off with Trevor Lawrence, the golden boy. All right, so personally for me, I think Trevor Lawrence is majorly overrated. I can't tell you how many times we've seen these quarterbacks come in, and there's always that one golden boy that everyone wants to feed us, and they try so hard to make him into a star, and it just never works out. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be another one of those big busts. He is not going to have a big NFL career. They'll force him in there like they do with a lot of these guys that come out, and he'll be in there. But I honestly, for me, in the next 2 to 3 years, he's going to be either out of the league or a backup somewhere, and is going to be considered, another big bust first overall pick that we've seen the likes of Ryan Leafs and all these other bums that came along before. So I honestly don't think that Trevor Lawrence is going to be a top-rated player. And I have a comparison for every player that I'm going to be talking about right now. So for me, the comparison for Trevor Lawrence is Blaine Gabbert. I think he's just going to be another Blaine Gabbert, overhyped, not good enough to live up to the hype. That's my personal opinion. Like it, love it, I don't really care. That's what I think. All right, so then we have Zach Wilson, who honestly, I don't know where this guy came from. I was not hearing very much about him at all. All of a sudden, in the last month or 2, he has risen up and seems to be the number 2 consensus pick. But to me, he is going to be another Brady Quinn. Good college quarterback, just couldn't hack it in the NFL. Great athlete, could do a lot of things, but just never panned out in the NFL. So for me, I think he's another Brady Quinn. All right, then we have Mac Jones. Again, another overrated quarterback. This guy, I don't understand how he's rated so high. This guy has been playing with the all-world receivers since he was in college there. There's no, and like nobody was talking about him. All of a sudden now he's a big name. Look at the receivers he's throwing to. These guys are wide open all the time. He never had to face any adversity. He has track stars. His receivers are all going top 10. There's no way this guy's going to pan out in the NFL. Big bust. He's the comparison for him, Tim Couch. Never going to be a top quarterback, but overrated coming in, underperforming. All right, so it seems like Trey Lance has been coming up the board. Now, honestly, I didn't hear much about him either, but he seems to be coming up. I've been looking into him. I think he's going to be good, but it seems like he's going to most likely be the fourth quarterback, potentially fifth to come off the board. I think he's going to be good. To me, I think he's going to be the number one quarterback coming out of this draft, and his comparison to me, honestly, people are going to probably laugh, and I think I'm jumping the gun on this, but I think he's going to be another Patrick Mahomes. Somebody that most teams didn't do the research on, but one team did, and Kansas City moved up to get him in that draft. And I have a feeling that San Francisco might be looking to pick up Trey Lance. So I personally think that that's his comparison is Mahomes, and I think he will be the best quarterback out of this draft. Which brings me to Justin Fields, who was once upon a time the number 2 prospect. Looks like he might come 5th off the board. To me, he's my number 2 prospect still. I think it gets Trey Lance, then it's him. And I think for me, his comparison is Steve McNair. God rest his soul. Steve McNair was a phenomenal quarterback, did a lot of great things in the NFL, had a great career, and I honestly think that Justin Fields, if he reaches his potential, that's his comparison. Now, again, these comparisons I gave, this is all based off of, what I think as far as projection and whether they live up to the hype. A lot of factors go into play, what teams they go to and all that, but I honestly believe that this is the ranking that it should be, and I think that your number 1, Trevor Lawrence, is way overrated, and Trey Lance and Justin Fields are going to be the number 1 and number 2 when we look back on this draft. That's all I got for now, y'all. Hope you enjoyed the video. Comment. If you like it, thumbs up. If you don't like it, go ahead with the thumbs down. I don't really care. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you guys think on how you would rank these guys. And I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Peace.